Seniors across America are canceling their leases. Not because they found a cheaper apartment, not because they moved in with family, because Elon Musk just made a promise that, if it lands, makes paying rent one of the dumbest financial decisions a retiree can make. $249 a month, a fully functional, solar-powered, storm-proof home. And Musk didn't whisper it. He said it in a recorded internal meeting that has since leaked to the public. Maybe around the middle of next year, second half of next year sometime. That's not a tweet, that's a timeline. So what exactly is Musk promising? And why are people who've spent decades paying rent suddenly paying attention? This didn't come out of nowhere. Musk has been building toward this publicly for years. He's called the American housing market structurally broken. On record, he's said, more than once, that Tesla's mission of sustainable living cannot stop at the car. It has to include where people sleep, where they eat, where they actually live their lives. Then, in late 2024, the vision got specific. In internal communications that have since surfaced, Musk outlined not a side project, but a full residential system, mass-produced at Tesla scale, priced like a consumer product, and aimed directly at the Americans the housing market has been quietly failing for decades. His framing in one internal session, "We build the most efficient vehicles on Earth. There is no reason we cannot build the most efficient home on Earth. Same principles, same factory logic, same mission." That is not inspiration. That is a product roadmap. And here's why it's worth taking seriously when most people would roll their eyes. They rolled their eyes at the $35,000 Model 3. They rolled their eyes at Starlink reaching rural America. They rolled their eyes at Optimus robots on a live factory floor. Every single one of those things happened on Musk's timeline, in Musk's way, at a price point the industry said was impossible. So when Musk says a Tesla home is coming, and when a patent filing, a production line in Nevada, and leaked engineering documents all line up behind that statement, the conversation shifts. It's no longer about whether he means it. It's about what it looks like, what it actually costs, and who it was built for. Here's what the vision describes, and this is where it gets specific. U.S. Patent 20250044127, filed under Tesla, a modular residential structure, mass-produced, deployable on leased land, designed for rapid single-day assembly. That is public record. You can search it right now. The target Musk's team is working toward, a fully equipped, energy-independent home delivered and installed for under $25,000. Pair that with Tesla's proposed land lease program. First, 24 months free, then $299 to $499 per month, depending on your state. And factor in near-zero utility bills from an integrated solar and battery system, and the monthly cost of living in a Tesla home lands somewhere between $249 and $520 a month. The average American retiree is currently spending between $1,400 and $2,100 a month on housing alone. Before groceries, before medication, before anything that makes retirement feel like it was worth working toward. That gap between what seniors pay now and what Musk is building toward is not a marginal improvement. It is a completely different financial life, and the people profiting from that $1,800 monthly rent check know it. Musk said it publicly in plain language. The house of the future should cost less than a car. Right now, it costs 10 times more. That math is wrong, and we intend to fix it. They didn't believe him about the car either. Now, let's talk about what is actually being built inside Giga Nevada right now. Because the promise is one thing, the factory floor is another, and this is where the story gets harder to dismiss. Forget the tiny home footage circulating on most channels right now. The majority of it is from 2017 and has nothing to do with this project. What Tesla's engineers are reportedly constructing uses aerospace-grade steel frames, the same structural category as commercial aircraft fuselages, powder-coated for decades of corrosion resistance in coastal and desert environments alike. Wall panels built from high-strength concrete composite compressed at 260,000 pounds per square inch, reportedly 10 times stronger than the concrete used in most residential foundations. The production line running these units is 94% automated, driven by second-generation Optimus robots. Every weld, every panel, every connection measured to within half a millimeter of tolerance. Certified structural lifespan. At least 60 years. If you're 60 years old today, this structure could outlast you and still be standing for your grandchildren. Wind tunnel tested to 180 miles per hour. Category 5 hurricane rating. Zone 4 seismic certification covering high earthquake zones, including California. Class A fire-resistant roof assembly. The ratings required for commercial buildings. Applied to a home that costs less than most people's cars. This is not a structure engineered down to a price point. It's a structure engineered to a standard, then driven to a price point through manufacturing scale. That is the Tesla playbook, and it's the reason the traditional housing industry cannot replicate it. They don't have the factory, they don't have the robots, and they don't have someone telling the engineering team that $249 a month is the number and to work backwards from there. But here's the part of this design that nobody is talking about yet, and it's not the steel, and it's not the solar. I'll get there in a moment. First, the number that people already living in these units are actually reporting. Real-world pilot program participants are averaging $15 to $20 per month in utility bills. The 6-kilowatt solar roof generates approximately 180% of what the home needs on an average day. Enough to run air conditioning, charge an electric vehicle, and still push surplus into storage. The Powerwall 3 battery carries enough reserve to run all essential systems through 3 straight days of heavy cloud cover without touching the grid. Integrated rainwater collection, feeding 3-stage filtration, sediment, activated carbon, UV sterilization, outputting water that meets EPA residential standards, closed-loop waste management with no municipal sewer connection required, no monthly water bill, no monthly electricity bill, no garbage disposal fees tied to a municipal contract, just $15 to $20 a month for internet and the occasional grid supplement in bad weather. Everything else runs on sunlight. Now, the feature that genuinely changes the calculus for retirees specifically. These units connect. One 250 square foot base unit becomes 2, then 4. A full 1,000 square foot 2-story home. And in 38 states, those connections require 0 new building permits because the structure stays legally classified as movable property, not permanent construction. That classification is deliberate. It roots around the zoning requirements and permit walls that have kept affordable housing politically impossible for decades. Start with 1 unit, add another when the budget allows. That flexibility does not exist anywhere in the traditional housing market, the part that most channels covering this story quietly skip, because the drawbacks are real, and you deserve to know them before the order page opens. After those first 24 free months, the land lease kicks in, between $299 and $499 per month every month, indefinitely, with no equity accumulating underneath you. You don't own the land. For people whose entire retirement plan is built around asset ownership, that is a structural problem worth thinking through carefully before committing. Several states, New York, Massachusetts, Illinois among them, still do not legally permit movable tiny homes on leased land as of 2026. Tesla is reportedly working with state legislators, but if you're in one of those states, Musk's timeline may not be your timeline, and the full package, solar roof, Powerwall, water filtration, premium finishes, runs $25,000 to $30,000 once everything is accounted for. The $5,983 base price gets you a structure. The life that goes inside it costs more. Anyone presenting the base number as the full number is not giving you the complete picture. Pull back and look at what Musk is actually doing. He made a public promise with a date attached, he filed a patent, he pointed a factory at the problem, and he said, in language that does not leave much room for interpretation, that the house of the future should cost less than a car, and that Tesla intends to be the company that makes that true. The official order page on Tesla.com is expected Q2 2026. Production deliveries in the second half of next year. Exactly as Musk stated. He has been wrong about timelines. He has never been wrong about the destination. For American seniors spending $1,800 a month on rent, watching that number climb every year with no ceiling in sight, the destination is the only thing that matters. $249 a month, a home that runs on sunlight, built by the only person in American industry who has consistently looked at a broken market, said the math is wrong, and then built something that proved it. The question was never whether to believe him. The question is whether you want to be first in line when the page goes live, or spend another year paying rent while you wait to find out.